What is up, guys? KFC back. Gonna do a cleanup attack strategy video today. And this one is not, unfortunately, going to have a happy ending like some of our other attacks do. This is the war against one in a crowd, the one that we lost by 2 stars, and this is the Town Hall 9 that unfortunately we left up. Despite 8 attacks on the base, 7 of them were serious. And when I say serious, I mean 7 of them were done by Town Hall 9s. One of them was done by a Town Hall 8 to scout. Um, and this is kind of the ultimate snowball effect. If this base goes down, we're within 1 star. And then those Town Hall 10s can easily get 2-starred. But when you leave a Town Hall 9 base up, it kind of leaves the Town Hall 10s needing to 3-star, other Town Hall 10s, and it just, the weight of the world on the shoulders of the Town Hall 10s. Never a position we want to put them in. And so going to kind of give a hard look at ourselves during these 8 attacks. Going to start off with the Town Hall 8 attack and kind of build our knowledge. Like, what do we know? Like, did we watch all the replays? And, if we were to run into this base again, how would we take it down? So going to go ahead and kind of look at the base kind of just to kind of start here. Low compartment base, only 8 compartments. Does have, it looks like, a lot of the point defense on the outside of the base. But does have, some archer towers here in the center, some expos in the center, so not just kind of a straight surgical approach. If you look at the double bomb positions, you can kind of assume that they have to be one set in this compartment, possibly kind of a diagonal set with the expo and the air defense, or possibly the air super and the expo. And then you have to assume that there's another one here, once again, possibly a double diagonal across the air defense in the expo, or kind of horizontally from the air super in the expo. Really no other spots for good double bombs. So really at that point, it kind of becomes an exercise in trying to figure out where the Teslas are. You had a couple of random spots over here, a couple in front of the town hall, possibly something in this compartment here, a couple of spots over here. So ultimately, you don't necessarily know where the Teslas are. So that can make this attack a little bit difficult on a first hit. But I think ultimately what you really need to be focused on are these 2 really good double bomb spots. You can easily see how you could possibly drop an earthquake spell right on the clan castle, because you just have to break into one of the wall segments down here, or possibly the wall segment up here. And you can kind of easily go in there, take out all that stuff, and then just kind of hog kind of around the outside is kind of the way that I would at least initially scout it. But I don't want to get too deep into theory craft. What I really want to do is I want to spend time looking over each attack, looking at which one's built off of previous replays, and just seeing kind of what we could have done better. So let's scroll all the way down and find the very first attack on this base. It was a Town Hall 8 hitting the base, so obviously just a pure scout attack, just trying to find some bombs, trying to find the Teslas. So here you see Ellen coming in here. I'm going to kind of go a little fast with this replay, because ultimately what it's going to show is it's going to show that there's a lava hound in the clan castle, and then Ellen's going to kind of spam hogs. We see 2 Teslas pop in front of the laboratory there. No bombs have been tripped yet. A couple of skeleton traps are on ground. That's really good knowledge to have. Ellen does drop a heal spell over there, trips a bomb right there. So right now we have at least partial knowledge that there is at least something going on over in that compartment. But with only 20%, obviously all the Teslas haven't popped yet. So Ellen, make sure that she gets her minions and wizards down in areas that are not protected by defenses. The goal here is to get to 51%. Once you get to 51%, the other Teslas will pop. So she's at 48% now. I'm going to go ahead and slow this down. Wizard's still kind of working away on that gold storage over there, taking some heat from the mortar. That minion's going to get that gold mine down. And what you will notice is that as soon as the wizard takes out that, as soon as that minion, as soon as something takes out the next layer, there it is, right down here. That archer is going to take out that elixir collector, and then 2 Teslas pop. So now we know the location of all the Teslas. We can reasonably assume that there's something going on here in this compartment that hasn't been touched yet in terms of bomb spots. So ultimately, you have a lot of knowledge for sure to build on the next attack. So let's go ahead and see how the first Town Hall 9 hits it, and then we'll kind of build it from there. So the next attack on this base was from Sai. Let me go ahead and find his attack here. So Sai is right here. And let's go ahead and see what attack he decides to bring to take out this base. So it looks like he's going to bring a Shattered Govaho here with a jump spell. So just kind of on the surface, just kind of looking at the composition, it looks like a really good composition to take out this base because you're going to kind of make a push into the center of the base. You're going to take out some bomb spots. You know there's a lava hound in the clan castle. So let's go ahead and see how he attacks it and kind of go from there. So he's going to start off with a lure down here on the bottom left with a giant. The only issue is, so he has an archer over there that's kind of creating a somewhat of a funnel. Drops a minion to help create a funnel as well. He is going to drop a giant. Presumably, I believe, to get the lure. I was a little confused about what the purpose of the giant was. You see the giant going down that alleyway there. He's going to go in, and like I said, I think he was trying to get the lure out of range. So ultimately, not a good use of troop space there. If the purpose was the lure, definitely got to check that clan castle's range and make sure that the clan castle is going to come out. Is going to start his attack here, drops one golem down, then drops his BK. So just kind of a very awkward start. Drops his second golem in. Doesn't have a tremendous spread. Drops his jump spell, and what that's going to do is it's going to clear out this compartment, which is great. The question then becomes, how is he going to clear out the stuff that's going on over there on the left? So we'll keep watching here. The Lava Hound does pop out, is being targeted by some wizards. His Archer Queen is down here staying away from the Lava Hound, so that's fine. Unfortunately, his Valks are kind of over on the left. Usually when you bring 5 or 6 Valks, you usually drop a heal spell on them, so he's still got all 3 heal spells in the bag. All of his Valks are dead. His King got focused on the enemy King first, and now there he goes, going to rage in, take out the enemy Archer Queen. So ultimately, job accomplished. So he's got 3 heal spells. Hogs going down, so let's go ahead and stop over here. Drop some Hogs over here. He knows the Teslas are right there, so let's notice how many Hogs he dropped. He dropped about 6 Hogs on this cannon, and is already about to lose one because both Teslas popped. And so here, 2 minutes and 7 seconds, finally, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, that heal spell goes down. So lost about 3 Hogs by not having that spot pre-healed. I think a lot of times we think about pre-healing spots with single bombs. We don't always think about pre-healing spots with Teslas. You definitely don't want your Hogs to get picked off. Losing 2 or 3 Hogs might not seem like a big deal, but it completely ruins the momentum and the DPS that you had by dropping Hogs kind of in that way. And so now you see, unfortunately, his Queen is down here, and she's not doing anything to remove any pathing kind of in that area. So this left side, even though he's got 2 heal spells in the bag, and he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of point defense left, he's going to struggle here, and you'll notice that these Hogs kind of work their way. They're not going as fast as they would have. There's only 2 Hogs left from that original pack that he dropped. And then so ultimately now the Queen is going to be taking damage from the Archer Tower and the Lava Hound. So that's not going to be good for her. Pops the ability to try and get the Lava Hound down. Another example, more Hogs are down in. I think he wants to suicide these Hogs, so he doesn't want to waste a heal spell. Unfortunately, but the Skeleton Trap that popped didn't have enough juice to kind of get there. His Queen ultimately goes down here. More Hogs kind of come in from the top. Misses those Hogs over there on the right. But ultimately they jump into the mortar anyway. So as you can see, the attack's just kind of going downhill. He didn't quite get the value that he wanted from his kill squad, but he did at least expose that there was another double set where we thought there was going to be a double set. So at this point, we almost have a full comprehension of a ground scout. We know where several spring traps are, and so we won't get into spring trap location as well, but I mean, knowing kind of if there are spring traps in between certain defenses can certainly be something like right here that's good to know. And so we know that there's one in front of that Expo now. And ultimately, he's going to continue on. He's just going to get some extra percentage. Nothing else is really going to be revealed. But at this point, like I said, so just to summarize, we know where 3 of the 4 bombs are. We know where all 4 of the Teslas are. And so right now, we have a very good idea of how to attack this base by ground. So good try by Sai. Ultimately just didn't quite get it done, but a good kind of attack to build off of for the next attack. So let's go ahead and watch the next attack, which is done by Twex on the 11. And the first thing that I'm going to call your attention to is the composition at the bottom. Obviously just as nicely as I can say it, a very, very, very poor composition to attack this base because we have a full ground scout. We don't know where any of the Seeking Air mines are. So it's just a really peculiar decision by Twex to take a composition like this on a base that has almost a full ground scout. And so I'm just going to pause the video here, pause the attack here to just address that concern. So we have people in our clan like Edgar and Todd and Kamal that tend to prefer air. And I think that that's fantastic. I think a lot of times, because the leader, me, is a hog guy and I push hogs, I think people get confused and think that they should never attack a base by air. And that's not the point that I ever try and make. The point that I try and make is this. Anytime you are playing a competitive game, there's always going to be some sort of a metagame. And so for us right now at Town Hall 9, when you watch videos by Powerbang, when you watch videos by Jake, the metagame is hogs and valks and AQ walks. That's really the metagame that has been established. It's the most consistent metagame. And so if you are a loon person in a metagame that is dominated by hogs, it just means that you have to have tougher skin. And it's going to mean that fairly or unfairly, you're going to be judged more based on your results than others in the clan. So since we have more hog attackers, it's easy for someone like Sai to go in and fail because we have guys like Graveland and Liquid and Chief Grames and Onyx and Son of Jay, other guys that traditionally use the ground scouts to their advantage, whereas there are less balloon guys. And so I can even resonate a lot with the feelings that the air guys have in our clan right now, just because back in the day when I first became a Town Hall 9, La Loon was king. When there were no air sweepers, Shattered La Loon, Cold Blood La Loon, Penta La Loon was the metagame. And there was even a time in the Goodfellas where I would say we had Out of Luck, we had Jake, we had Scott, we had Pico. All those guys were air guys. And me, running the KFC account, I was a hog guy. And I took that on my shoulders because I knew that if I failed, I wasn't going to give as good of a replay to someone that follows behind me. So I don't want the air guys in our clan to be discouraged to attack by air, but you do need to realize that because you are in the minority in our clan, you'll just come under more scrutiny when you fail because it's harder for your team to build off your replay if you fail as an air guy in our clan. And so one final point, right, and I'll just call out the direct contrast, right? Like so someone like Kamal, who's really struggled recently with getting 3 stars in these kind of tougher anti-3 wars, is someone who's much more likely to face scrutiny than someone like Todd, who also tends to attack by air, but has the results to back it up. So when Todd fails, at least it's like, oh, well, just Todd had a bad war. Whereas when Kamal fails, it's kind of like, well, he never succeeds with air, or he doesn't succeed at the rate in which someone who's attacking in the minority should. And like I said, we can debate whether that's fair or not fair, but that's just kind of the way that all clan systems work, right? You have to have people that are kind of on the same page doing similar attacks. So anyways, long rant there. Sorry about that. I just needed to get that off my chest. So go ahead and watch Twex kind of attack this base by air. And so the one nice thing I can say about this raid is that he is going to do an AQ walk up here, which a lot of future attackers try and use the same AQ walk. So there is that small benefit. Going to get his minions down here. Throws his healers on his Archer Queen, and so you can instantly see that the purpose of this Archer Queen is to get that air defense and this enemy Archer Queen here. So I think that that's decent value. The curious part of this raid is actually going to come much later. So here you see the enemy Archer Queen kind of goes down. So once again, good knowledge for future attackers to know that you don't need to burn a rage spell there. Here's the weird part. This queen is going to target this Dark Elixir storage, and then she's going to turn around and shoot this air defense and this AQ altar. Why a golem goes down there is beyond me, because as you'll see, she's going to take out this Dark Elixir storage. This golem, not only is that golem punching on a wall, Twex has no jump spells. He has no wall breakers. There's just no reason that golem should have been there. So now the air defense is down. That golem is still punching through a Lego wall. Meanwhile, Twex has started the air portion. Not only has he started the air portion, he started the air portion into a sweeper. So he's going to struggle on the air portion as well. The king is over here tanking Tesla and an archer tower, but there's no loons in behind the king to at least kind of trade off 1-for-1 with those defenses. Finally, that golem continues to be on the wall. That golem has not been touched. It's not tanked anything. Here you see some more hounds coming in. The loons are getting pushed back by the sweeper. Not any momentum to this attack. The Lava Hound finally pops out and targets the enemy golem, or excuse me, targets Twex's golem, which has once again, now it's being tanked by 2 pieces of point defense. But ultimately, Twex finishes the attack. Rage in the bag, Haste in the bag, Loon in the bag, golem that didn't do anything. Just a really, really poor attack, and I hate to kind of like dial up the negativity, but when you have a base that gets hit 8 times, it is very easy to point out the attack that just never should have been made. But not to throw all the dirt on Twex, because if you go through our prep room, you see that Twex drew up a plan for that attack, had a golem going into the compartment that exactly the way that he drew it up is the way that he attacked, and no one said anything in our prep room chat. So if we're just going to be a clan of 45 people that just play by ourselves, you're going to have to suffer through some of those attacks. And so that one was a tough one to swallow for sure. But let's go ahead and watch the next one here by Graveland. And here you're going to start to see the point where we kind of figure the base out, where we kind of have the right idea for how to attack it. Graveland's going to come in here with 30-30. He's going to do an AQ walk, go Vaho. Going to do the same thing that Twex did kind of up here to take out the enemy Archer Queen, which is great because you're going to AQ walk the enemy Archer Queen, and then you're going to stay away from the Lava Hound. So theoretically, it makes sense. He's got a higher hero, so he knows that he doesn't have to use the Rage spell early on. So let's go ahead and watch kind of this walk portion. I'm not sure if you noticed the time at the bottom of the raid, but it was 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so Grave is going to time out in this attack. Kind of spoiler alert. But ultimately, so far, everything is kind of going according to plan. Right here is when it starts to get a little dicey for his Archer Queen. Has a perfect rage spell for the healers to kind of get her back up. So everything to this point is going really, really well for Grave. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to lose out here because you got 3 pieces of point defense on that Archer Queen. The rage spell is going to run out. Tesla pops, so he's going to get that ability going soon. Has the wall breakers kind of in over here. Queen continues her walk. She's actually now gotten out of range of that Archer Tower, so I stand corrected on having to pop the ability. So far, everything looks like it's going fantastic. The Queen is now going to deal with the Hound the exact way that we want her to, which is being targeted by nothing. He's got a Golem kind of going down here on the side. He's got Wizards kind of creating that funnel. Unfortunately, I think what really sent this attack kind of downhill was that I think it took those Wizards too long to get those elixir collectors down. I'm going to zoom out since we got things going on multiple sides of the map here. So it takes him a while to get his king down. So finally there you see the funnel is created. The jump spell goes down. The Valkyries now start coming in. King goes down. The remaining Valkyries come in. So now, once again, you see the purpose here. So I'm going to stop this video again. You see the purpose of this style of attack. This King and the Valk are responsible for this double bomb set. The Archer Queen over here is responsible for this double bomb set. And so that's kind of the goal. Now, keep in mind, the Lava Hound has just popped in this attack. What he needs to realize at this moment in time is that the only get-out-of-jail-free card that he has left for the Archer Queen is the ability. So let's see how the rest of this raid kind of turns out. The Golem is kind of out in front of the King, which is fantastic. King's going to take out the Mortar and the Wizard Tower, and then he's going to jump over into the compartment that has the other double set in it. Boom. There's the bomb that hadn't been exposed yet that we kind of assumed was there. So now that is a good place to stop as well. That double spot now is negated. So the benefit of that double spot now being negated is that you can start hogs right now. You could take advantage of the fact that this Archer Tower and this Expo are distracted by the King in the center, because the King still has a ton of health left. So for me, when I'm watching this attack, the only thing going through my head is, when are the hogs going to go down? Because they could easily be going down right now on this first layer of defenses. You can drop kind of 4 per, and then you could drop the heal spell here on the cannons and the Teslas. And then if you kind of start analyzing the attack that way, so we're going to spend 12 hogs to get down these 3 defenses. Then we're going to drop a heal spell in this area. So then we will have 6 hogs and a heal left for this area, which the Queen is on her way to kind of handle. So let's see kind of what happens the rest of the raid here. King's ultimately taking out the air sweeper. Bomb goes off. Right around now, King's ability gets popped. King kind of starts going down. Does start sending in those hogs there. So let's stop again. Those hogs lost a few hogs there, didn't pre-heal the location. Ultimately, though, what's going to derail this raid, you're going to kind of see it over here on the right side of your screen here in a second. Queen has her ability and unfortunately goes down without popping the ability. So we see kind of the error that was made. If that queen pops the ability, easily that air defense, that cannon go down. She wouldn't be being targeted by multiple pieces of point defense. And ultimately, I think this attack would have been successful. Going to come in here with the rest of his hogs, but unfortunately burns a very, very early heal spell. I think that heal spell needed to be placed kind of a little bit more over in this high concentration area. Going to send in some more hogs from the top to try and get out that arch tower, but ultimately the loss of his queen is going to be proved to be too devastating. Does drop the poison on the skeletons, which is great. Going to take out the remaining pieces of defense there, and so he's got all the defenses down. And all he has to do now is clean up, and he's simply going to run out of time. So the great part of this attack was that we now know the formula. We know the composition. We know the mistake that was made, and so now we just have to tweak it and kind of make it better. This video is definitely going to go long, so I apologize in advance. So now, at this point, we're now 4 attacks in. We've had a Town Hall 8 scout it. We had a Town Hall 9 go in with a very good go Vaho to reveal the rest of the traps. We had one really poor attack that was a Laloon, very poorly planned. And then finally, on the 4th attack, we had a really good effort that gave us the final blueprint. So basically, anyone that attacks the base from here on out, kind of zero excuses. Have to get it done. No ifs, ands, buts. We have the formula for it. And so, unfortunately, the first victim of that have to get it done and didn't is Liquid. So coming in with a little bit less power to his heroes, so 26-24 instead of 30-30. But ultimately, if you watch Graves attack, those hero levels shouldn't matter too much, right? The King's still going to be able to get his part done over here. We know that the Hogs can go. We know that the biggest thing so far, and I'm not sure if it was ever mentioned on TeamSpeak, is this area right here, that heal spell. It needs to get down sooner. But once again, you look at Liquid's time at the bottom, 334. That signifies to me, once again, that this is probably an attack that runs out of time. Let's go ahead and watch Liquid do it. Excuse me. So going to go ahead and get the same funnel that he got on the previous raid. Another thing that I could point out here as well is that in terms of building on plans, right? So we saw Grave struggle to get these kind of elixir collectors down. I would have to check the range on those archer towers, but I'd have to wonder if a few minions on those elixir collectors couldn't have been beneficial. We'll check after this attack just to kind of scout it, but that's just kind of the first thing that goes through my mind, because that could have saved some time over there for sure. But does get the Archer Queen's walk funnel created nice. Everything's going well here. We can fast forward this part. We've seen this already. Going to take out the enemy Archer Queen here. No need to drop the Rage. We already know that. Going to take out a gold storage. Going to kind of do all this. So now, and here's another good area to stop as well. As soon as the Rage spell goes down on this healer and this Archer Queen, we can start over here, right? So just in terms of saving time and being good at transitioning phases, we know that the only other thing that we have to do to our Queen over here is Rage her. So once she gets Raged, that's when I would look for the other portion to start. So let's go ahead and look at the time that Rage spell goes down and that the golems go down. Tesla pops here. Rage spell going to come down. So 238 is when the Rage spell goes down. So at any point in time, the portion on the left can start, because we don't need to pop the Queen's ability. We know that. There you see a wall breaker go down. Unfortunately, he was a little impatient. Didn't wait for the Tesla to go down. So just kind of speeding ahead. So he has a little bit of a wall breaker fail, and that's going to come back to kind of doom him. But once again, so far we're 5 seconds away from the Rage spell, and there's still nothing happening over there on the left. Queen's going to walk around. He's going to get the funnel going kind of here with the minions, but his Queen's just going to kind of keep walking, but still not the end of the world, because the Queen is still going to walk around, and that Queen is going to kind of go into this compartment here. So he tries to, I think, save the raid by dropping a hog in there to get the lure, to make sure that the Queen handles the Lava Hound without being in range of any of the defenses. A really nice heads-up play. Here's the big mistake. 1 minute 42 seconds. That's when the golem finally goes down. So almost a full minute after the Queen's Rage spell went down.
just had a hard time kind of transitioning phases, kind of zoom out because we know what the plan is from here on out. Queen is going to kind of now deal with that Lava Hound. Minion's going to kind of do a little bit of work over on that Elixir Collector. He gets the same funnel going. The funnel's now created. Jump spell needs to be down, so it looks like a little late on the jump spell. I think he may have transitioned screens over to the Lava Hound, but the mistakes are beginning to pile up. Finally, the jump spell goes down. The Valks go down, and then finally his king goes down. And so we've seen this portion of it before. This compartment's going to kind of get taken out quickly over here. Drops a nice poison over there on the Hound for those of you watching that area of the screen. King is still full health, so that's great. Because he's entering an area with a double bomb spell, he can't pop the King's ability yet, which is the tricky part of that portion. Soon as that bomb goes off, it's time to rage. That part was very well done. Skeleton Trap pops. Expo is just barely, hopefully, nope, that Expo did not quite go down. So another kind of interesting area, right? So we do have another poison spell. We knew that in Graves' attack, that Expo just barely didn't go down. It's possible that a nice poison spell on the enemy king and on those skeleton traps would have been kind of that key ticket, right? So that little thing that could have gone a little bit better was a poison spell pre-placed in that compartment to slow everything down, maybe get the king to complete the destruction of the Expo and the Archer Tower. Heal spell goes down here. As you can see, whiffs on the heal spell. All of those hogs are kind of going down. Ends up with 2 left. And at that point, the queen's kind of working her way around. But as you can see, even though he had the wall breaker fail and didn't quite go his way, that queen is still going to kind of come around here, and she's going to do her job and kind of remove pathing now to that double set there, or she would have. Right now she's focused on a storage. Liquid's going to kind of go ahead and start those hogs. They're not going to quite get all the way to the end. So just a really kind of tricky situation on that attack. A couple of things went wrong. The wall breakers didn't kind of work the way that Liquid wanted them to. So mistakes happen, right? So at this point, we've had 3 really good Town Hall 9 attacks on this base that were kind of wholehearted efforts, and then 1 that was kind of really poor. So let's go ahead and watch the 6-1 and see what Chief Graves could have done a little differently in his attack. As you can see here, Chief Graves is going to switch the strategy a little bit. There's no healer, so he's not going to AQ walk to take out the Archer Queen. And we can get into lots of debates in our clan about whether this is appropriate, right? Like, we know that Graveland has shown us the way to take out the base. Now, Graveland had 30-30 heroes. Graves has 25-23. But ultimately, Graves is going to be taking a different approach. He's going to take a stoned Goho approach here. So let's go ahead and see how he does it. Because what I like about this attack is that it gives the remaining attackers another good blueprint. So right there already, you see, I said that I was going to do it. I didn't. That minion on the Elixir Collector there, that is high-level gameplay. That is what Liquid should have done after Graveland went in and had his funnel with 3 wizards on those 3 Elixir Collectors that took so long for those Elixir Collectors to go down. That minion is out of range of the Archer Towers. I'm sure that one next to it would have been as well. That is the kind of stuff that we need to do better as a clan to make improvements. So Chief Graves is going to go ahead and drop a Golem, kind of in the very similar way that the previous staggers had done it. Wall breakers go in. And so now we kind of see his plan and how it's going to kind of develop here. As soon as that cannon goes down, he's going to release the rest of his golems so that they all kind of path into that compartment that he just opened up. So that cannon looks like it's taking a little bit longer to go down than he thought. Drops a nice hog there to get it to go down. Golems are going to redirect. Clan Castle Golem comes down. He's got his Archer Queen out nice and early, but she's unfortunately going to have to lock onto the Lava Hound in this attack. Has another nice little 1 hog going on the side over here. So far, so good. Jump spell goes down, which is perfect because it redirects his king. The only issue now is whether he's going to remove pathing to that double spot there because he had to use his jump spell to get his king into the AQ compartment. But so far, everything is working really well. Golems are going to go right, so as soon as the queen removes pathing to that double by removing that air defense and removing that air sweeper, it is once again go time. And so there's the queen, locks onto the air sweeper. The rage spell goes down on the golems, and so we're going to talk about how that was the portion of this raid that could have gone better. So that rage spell goes down on the golems, so both spots are effectively negated now. So at 202, it is hog time, and he knows that, and he's got hogs now going in over here. They're going to take out that wizard tower. They're going to take out that Expo. Is going to lose a few hogs there to that single trip, but ultimately the hogs basically stay avoidant of it. Some more hogs go down here. Giant goes down on the cannon, which is great because it's going to tank now the cannon, the arch tower, and both Teslas. The problem is that Giant went down kind of at 148, and some hogs don't go down to 145. Heal spell is a little late. He's already lost a few hogs. And ultimately, he's going to run out of a little bit of steam. So a couple of, once again, small mistakes. Has a poison that he's holding right now that could easily go down on some skeletons and the Barbarian King. We know where they're going to pop. Unfortunately, boom, there goes the spring traps in front of the Expo. The final 3 hogs come in. There's only 1 defense left. It is the Expo. Unfortunately, poison was down late. Those skeletons are going to go ahead and take out those hogs before going down themselves. So Chief Grames, another good attack. Leaves up only 1 defense, and then kind of cleanup is going around the left, going around the right. So he's got a pretty good shot at this base with that attack, but didn't quite get there. Once again, some small mistakes that were made. So now I feel like at this point, we've kind of reached the point where we really need someone to kind of step up and take a 30-30 account or even a Town Hall 9.5 account and just kind of take out this base. Because we are now 5 Town Hall 9 attacks into it. So the next person to step up was Onyx. And so Onyx is going to go in on 11, and he is going to take the Graveland composition, it looks like. And so certain things that you could look for in the Graveland composition, right? We need the rage, we need the jump, we need the 2 heals, so that's fine. He has 2 poisons. So now if you're gonna be disciplined enough to take 2 poisons when you know that the CC is a hound, you have to be ready to kind of pre-plan your poison drops, just like we pre-plan our heal drops. And the second thing that I would like to see is I want to see if Onyx go ahead and use these minions over here on the Elixir Collectors, because that was the thing that really needed to be corrected from Graves' attack. As you can see by Onyx's time at the bottom, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so we feel like we're going to run once again into the time issue. 2 minions go down, so we've seen this part before. Level 30 Archer Queen goes down, so we know that we don't need a rage right now. She's going to get through this cannon and this enemy Archer Queen pretty easily. Everything working well so far. Comes over, targets those Builder's Huts. As soon as this Dark Elixir storage goes down, that's when Onyx knows that he needs to drop his rage spell. He knows that as soon as the Dark Elixir goes down, those Teslas are going to pop. So let's go ahead and watch kind of what happens here. Onyx takes out the Dark Elixir storage. Tesla pops, locked onto his queen, takes out the Tesla, and at this point he's got an Archer Tower and an Expo locked onto his queen. And what's going to happen here, as soon as that 80 goes down, it's going to step up, and now he's got fire drawn from a 3rd Archer Tower. And so now his queen is going down fast. There goes the rage spell, and whiffs, unfortunately, on the healers. And that's ultimately going to spell the end for Onyx's attack. Everything at this point is going to be hard. His queen goes down, so just kind of dropped his rage spell. Now, what I want us all to notice is that the rage spell lasts 15 seconds. You could have argued that when there was only 2 pieces of point defense on it that you didn't technically need the rage spell, but just get it down. She's ultimately, what this queen is going to do is she's going to take out the air defense, the AQ altar, the town hall, and then she's going to walk all the way over here. You do not need the rage spell kind of for that long. It's not going to take her 15 seconds to walk all the way over. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. I'm going to go ahead and drop the wizards down, which is a mistake from Graveland's raid that I wish would have been improved. But basically from here on out, we know the story. We know what he's going to do. We know what he's going to negate, but unfortunately has nothing over there. His queen went down way earlier than expected. Still holding lots of poisons. Skeleton traps are popping. Just not using the poisons. Just can't do it, and makes bacon finally in the area that the queen was responsible for. So just didn't quite get there, misexecuted the attack, and kind of the story of the reason why we lost this war kind of starting to come into full picture. All right, so we got one more attack. I debated on whether I was going to show this one or not, but I will go ahead and show it because I think it brings out kind of a really important lesson. If you are a Town Hall 9 in our clan, I think that your standard of excellence is to basically 3-star once a war. And so that is to say that if you're a Town Hall 9 in our clan and you have a 50% 3-star rate, you are an excellent attacker in the clan. Now, we have guys in our clan who are below 50% 3-star attackers, and we're developing, we're trying to team speak, we're trying to get better. Town Hall 10, in terms of expectation, is so different than Town Hall 9 that anyone who's considering in our clan going from Town Hall 9 to Town Hall 10 has to have really thick skin. Because whereas guys can go in and have a Town Hall 9 war where you go 0 for 2 and you don't 3-star at all, and it can kind of go under the radar, at Town Hall 10, the spotlight will always be on you. And it will always be on you for 2 reasons. One, when you are attempting to 2-star enemy Town Hall 10s, your expected success rate at 2-starring that Town Hall 10 is 90 to 95%. I'm going to kind of make up arbitrary numbers, but you need to be that automatic because the goal is a 2-star. And then number 2, when you are attacking max Town Hall 9 bases, kind of the best bases that the enemy 9 has to offer, with 30-30 heroes, doesn't matter how strong it is, you have to convert that. That has to be 99%. And so it's the same logic that when we send a Town Hall 9 down on a Town Hall 8, you just have to be able to clear it and not miss it. And so, unfortunately, Son of Jay, new to the Town Hall 10 game, so he has the extra spell, but he doesn't necessarily have the extra troop space yet. He has to have the thick skin enough to be able to take it. This raid is not going to end in a success. But Son of Jay, I felt for Son of Jay when I watched his attack, because I myself have been in many situations. I can think of 2 wars in WHF where I really felt like I cost the clan a war because I didn't convert attacks that I normally do. I remember for myself once, there was a guy, a Town Hall 9, that went before me on a Town Hall 10, and he got a 49% 1-star on the Town Hall 10, and he didn't even use 2 of his spells, and so naturally, kind of, I'm used to being able to go in there, 2-star Town Hall 10s, use my spells more efficiently, and I went in there and just misexecuted, and it's a devastating feeling, and so my heart goes out to Son of Jay. He took a war off, which is exactly what I would recommend anyone does that has a really, really tough war and just needs to kind of recharge their batteries. But guys, this kind of stuff's going to happen. No reason why Son of Jay should be even hitting 11 at this point. Psy, Twex, Graveland, Liquid, Chief Graves, Onyx. Someone in that 6 has to be able to convert this base if we are ever going to be an elite war clan, right? We see Powerbang and we see Jake from One Hive put out videos that say, Town Hall 9 is a joke. And Town Hall 9 at the moment for us is not quite a joke yet because we have bases that are taking 6-7 hits. And so we just have to hold ourselves more accountable. Now, did we plan for this war to be a really, really tough war? No, it happened kind of at the end of the week, and everyone needed to be on their A game, and it didn't quite get there for a lot of us. So anyways, going to go ahead and watch Son of Jay's attack, see what he could have done a little differently. Going to bring the Go Vaho that the other attackers have also brought. The exception is that he's bringing an additional rage spell, which I found to be an interesting choice. I would have assumed that the logic may have been an extra heal spell, but ultimately it's an extra spell nonetheless. So let's go ahead and watch Son of Jay, kind of see how he does it. We know how this first part goes. Enemy Archer Queen gets targeted, goes down pretty easily, and then the Archer Queen is going to kind of do some work kind of over in this area. 2 pieces of point defense are fine. Drops a nice early rage spell, kind of like I advocated for Onyx, and as you notice, that rage spell lasts a really long time. So by the time that rage spell dissipates, the Archer Queen now is locked onto the Tesla, and she is going to be fine. So once again, just kind of goes to show, there goes that second rage spell. I think he panicked a little bit there. I think he thought that he needed that rage spell. I think he could have saved it. She was about to walk out of range. So unfortunately, at this point, if you look at the value of what that extra rage kind of got Son of Jay, unfortunately, it didn't add a lot of extra benefit that a normal Town Hall 9 raid would have. He had a wall breaker fail over here as well, same as Liquid, with kind of that Tesla picking one off. And so at this point, it's almost just a normal Town Hall 9 raid. He's got his stuff going down over here. Valks and BK go in. Lava Hound is distracted by the enemy golem, which is fantastic. He's going to get this kind of left side over here taken out. Poison spell does go down, so there you go. There you see an example of a really, really good usage of the replay. Gets the pre-poison down, and so as you'll notice here, pops his BK's ability. Unfortunately, the BK's ability was a little late and was already being targeted by so much that he doesn't get as much value as he could. But obviously, we kind of see where this is going. Possibly those hogs kind of went in a little too early because he is going to make kind of glorious, glorious bacon here. Nothing he can do but kind of prepare for it. And there it goes. The wall breaker fail kind of ultimately leading to the downfall of removing of that pathing and just not going to get it done here. So just a really, really tough attack for Son of Jay. I'm glad you took a war off, buddy. You've definitely been someone who has done it all in our clan over the last few months, so you will shake that off. Like I said, you shouldn't have been put in that position anyway. Yeah. So, guys, that's kind of all I have for this video. I know we're pushing almost 45 minutes here. But, yeah, 8 attacks on the base. You lose a war by 2. We did have the tiebreaker that would have been ours, 95.33 to 95.93. If you just assume that we convert that base and then we take one of these 1-star Town Hall 10s and we put the 2-star attack on it, that's a victory for us. We were outmatched for sure. They were able to take care of the top of our map with their Town Hall 11. That's fantastic for them, but they left up 4 Town Hall 9s. So they gave us the window and we just didn't take it. So we have to be better than that. We've got to make sure that all of our attacks count for something. We can't have attacks like Twex going in there. We need to just kind of plan more efficiently. We need to be more active in the prep room. All these things, I can only say them so many times, right, before I kind of start sounding like a broken record. The culture itself needs to keep itself accountable. I can't keep everyone accountable. There are going to be times where I'm busy and I can't be on and I can't coordinate. And I leave that kind of to you guys. I just push the button. That's what I start wars and I set up clash tools. It's really the only difference between me and some of the other co-leaders and even some of the elders. The culture is created by everyone, not by one person. So that's all I got for us on this cleanup attack video. Hopefully the next time I make one of these, it is for a TGF Rising War and not a main war. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching it all the way through. Be sure to do the normal stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment in the chat section about what you guys think. And finally, how are we going to take out this base? If we see it again, what are we going to do? How are we going to reduce the small mistakes that are made? So once again, thanks for sticking around. I'll catch you guys later.